Hello everyone, and welcome back to DMG. I'm really excited because of two things. Number one, because I just picked up this insane computer, and number two, because I actually have a good camera now. There we go. Now that I'm not using the tiny little Canon, and I'm actually using like my good camera that I used for my older videos, I think this one's going to turn out a lot better. And it has a better mic. But anyway, let's get into what this is. Sorry I'm a bit out of breath because I just carried this across campus, but this is fascinating. So, first of all, it says Lenovo and IBM. So, must have been around the time when Lenovo bought out IBM's like ThinkCentre, ThinkStation, and ThinkPad brand. It's like Nissan and Datsun, where for like 2 years, Nissan vehicles also said Datsun, just because, you know, the brand change. Or like mid-2000s, back when the GPU dies on AMD cards still said ATI. But this thing is fascinating. It's so small. Here, let me pull out a small form factor system, just to set it up next to you. This is the Pentium 4 system from recently. It's smaller than small form factor. Here, let me aim that up a bit. Yeah, it's absolutely tiny. What will this be? It's like almost an SFX form factor. So, we've got this weird power supply. For some reason, it does look like it was kicked at some point. Pretty normal motherboard I/O. And then we have one expansion slot here. And there's one more interesting thing I want to go over. This is a Core 2 Duo, but it says designed for XP. So this, again, I'm going to place the system around 05, because a Core 2 Duo and XP must have been a really early Core 2 Duo before Vista came out. Before I even plug this in, turn it on, I just want to check something. Wow, that is compact. So it does use SATA for the hard drive. Does this... oh, it just pops out. Wow. That is weird. That is one weird system. So, yes, it is a bit dusty. But, oh my god. So, the power supply intake fan is right there. It intakes through the front. It has its whole separate side of the case, and exhausts out that side. Looks like we got a couple caps that have seen much better days. And then this heatsink, though. That is fascinating. Okay, yeah, right there. Look what I can do now. I can zoom. Right there, you can probably see right in the viewfinder, there's that one cap. And then over there are those two. But, I mean, overall, it doesn't look awful. Like, I don't know if that might just be like dust and grime. I'm not sure. It definitely does look like they are a bit bulgy, though. But this heatsink is just fascinating. This whole system is just fascinating. And it uses a laptop optical drive. It's got this massive connector. It uses IDE. This is so confusing. It's kind of hard to get back together. You kind of have to squeeze it from all 5 sides at once. Oh, my bad. I'm going to open it up again because I didn't even get into the expansion slot. Let's see. So, does this just... looks like it should just pop out. Yeah. So, it plugs into this proprietary slot on the board. You have this expansion slot. So you have a PCI. Oh! So depending on what slot you want, you can flip it around. So you can either have a conventional PCI or PCIe 1X. I have no idea what those are for, but it takes a full-size cards, so you can have one go all the way across. Yeah, this thing is cool. Let's see, I'm going to plug this card back in because it might not post without the card. Now, with the caps in the state that they are, I do not expect it to work. That's the sad part. How does this even go back in? You know, maybe I shouldn't have taken this out. But yeah, with the caps in the state that they are in, that probably also means the power supply caps look like that. And of course, if the power supply caps have issues, then nothing gets power. So I don't expect it to turn on. It may be worth fixing, so don't worry. I will probably, you know, put a bit more effort into fixing it. But yeah, let's get it powered on. Alright, so I've got the computer here. Looks like the integrated graphics just use VGA, which is good because I have a VGA cable. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop it behind my monitor. Doesn't seem to show signs of life. Oh god! Jesus, that scared me. It does show signs of life. Damn, talk about ramping the fans on post. Okay, I gotta switch it to the right input. Hard drive is making normal sounding sounds. Tell me this thing doesn't have Windows 10. Oh, okay. It smells like burnt electronics when it's turned on. This thing has Windows 10. This is a Windows 10 boot logo. The audacity of some people. Anyway, yeah, generally I just want to, you know, maybe get into Task Manager, check the RAM, that kind of thing. Smells very interesting. So, oh. Well, there it goes. Not support. I swear, all of these old school PCs have a broken VGA cable. Like, it is the problem that plagues every single one of them. Or like there's some issue with VGA. Come on. It's probably trying to drive it at too high a resolution. Yeah, okay. So it's putting out some signal that my monitor just doesn't support. But the fact that it's working normally other than that is kind of weird. Actually, I take that back. The power button seems to not work. Okay, I'm going to unplug this. Easiest way to turn it off. Okay, let's see if I can at least get into the BIOS. Oh. Ah, F1. Oh my god. Interesting, so the BIOS date is 2007. Devices... Actually, video setup, yeah. Okay, so there's no way to manually change the max resolution in the BIOS. Fan acoustics, okay. Security. Wow, there's like no information in this BIOS. It just won't. It just will not tell me anything about this thing. Fingerprint reader. Fingerprint reader? Wait a minute. Okay, I think that's for an external device. Gotta be. Yeah, no, this thing does not have a... Okay, yeah, fingerprint reader, if attached, can be used to enter BIOS passwords. Very interesting. Advanced. Okay, it's set to quick post. Interesting. Why would you do that? IDE drives. It won't even tell me information. Oh my god, now it's trying to go back into Windows 10. Okay, I'm gonna go to the IT room and hook it up to a VGA monitor that actually supports higher resolutions in a bit, because I'm really curious about this thing. And also I'm really curious who put Windows 10 on it and why. Alright, it's about 4 hours after I recorded the original segment. I have been investigating this cool little expansion board a little more. I've asked around on forums, I've asked the tech teacher at school, and it turns out, yes, we confirmed, you unscrew this, you can flip it around, and you have a PCI slot or a PCIe slot. But then what's this extra connector? So he did confirm that this can be used as a PCIe 1X slot, but it can also be used for what's called an add-to card. So that's what all of these extras are for. So if you just want to use it as a PCIe 1X, those do nothing. But an add-to card, what it does, it doesn't do video processing on board. It uses the integrated graphics and basically just adds another display out. So they're most common in DVI. I believe there are other variants. They're all different connectors for different companies. So like HP and Dell and Lenovo, where this came from, have different add-to cards. But I'm going to show a picture of one on screen right now. That's what it looks like if you're curious. So I think I'll actually buy one of those instead of investing in a video card that will fit in a 1X slot or a PCI slot, because those are hard to find that are compatible with modern systems. Okay, now I have a VGA monitor that should work. Let's go get it hooked up to that and just check out what's in it. So I've got a better VGA monitor here. All I need now is a power cord so I can actually plug this thing in. It's powering on, but we're getting no... Ah! Okay, there we go. Okay, interesting. Oh, it just went away. Media test failure, check cable. So we got a RAM error and a disk error, but it's booting straight into Windows. This is fine. Oh, that's Windows 10. Okay, it does have personal information there that I'm going to have to blur out. But, okay. So yeah, as I thought, it does have Windows 10. Okay, we're into Windows. I'm going to do Control-Shift-Escape, hopefully pull up Task Manager. By the way, this is another one of my projects. I wasn't going to make a video on it because there's really nothing interesting about it. Oh, okay. It seems to work fine, if not a bit slow. Bet that the hard drive is at 100% and the CPU is only at like 50. Because even on these old systems with like Core 2 Duos, yep, exactly as I thought. CPU is at like 71%. And hard drive is at 100. Let's see. Memory, we have 4 gigs of DDR2 600, or 667, my bad. And then here's our Core 2 Duo. Okay, so it's a Core 2 Duo 6400 at 2.13 gigahertz. It's clocked really low right now. And we're getting about a megabyte per second data transfer speed from our hard drive, so it's definitely broken. Let's open an application, see if it actually turbos higher. Hard drive is definitely bottlenecking the CPU a bit. Well, you know, a bit is a stretch. It's definitely causing major issues. Okay, this Windows install is literally unusable. I'm gonna pop Ubuntu on it. Like, you press the power button and it doesn't even shut down. The hard drive is that bad. Ah, there we go. Okay, now that we know that it seemingly works, I blew it out, I dusted it off a little. I still need to manually dust this fan. However, I just want to take a look at this CPU and just kind of show off how modular this thing is. So getting the motherboard out is really easy. You just unplug all the cables from it. Pieces like this fan are just, you know, clipped to the case. The CPU heatsink, you just flip down this lever, pull it out. By the way, this thing is about 2 pounds, just the heatsink of copper. Then under there, you've got your little, what is that, socket 1366 maybe? Yep, your little Core 2 Duo, which needs a bit of new thermal paste. Okay, a chunk of dried thermal paste fell in the socket. That's not going to be fun to get out. Intel, why can't you be like AMD? Just use PGA, please. Alright, there we go. So, yeah, as you can see, it desperately needs a bit of new thermal paste. If I can get it working, then yeah, I'll do that. But I don't want to waste my Corsair TM30 on a system that doesn't work very well. Oh yeah, and also, I found it kind of funny that the socket actually says Molex, because I knew the Molex company made connectors, just didn't know they made LGA sockets. Right, boom. And yes, those caps, I'm aware of them, and they are very much concerning me. These few. Let me focus it a bit more. So yeah, these couple of caps. So I'm gonna look at what they are really quickly. Okay, so they're 1800 microfarads, all three of them. They're 1800 microfarads, 6.3 volts. So I guess just that particular type of cap, prone to failure. I did notice in Windows the CPU wasn't clocking particularly high. I wonder if it had to do with these caps limiting the amount of power that it was getting, because it was staying below 1 gigahertz. Like, the highest it ever went was like 0.79. So, you know, that's definitely a thing to keep my eye on. I am gonna replace those because now I know how easy it'll be to get the board out. Probably gonna install Ubuntu on it and get that DVI card so that hopefully it will work with my monitor. Alright, now that I've got that card installed, I've decided what I want to do with this PC. I'm just going to leave it in my workspace for things like, well, what I'm doing on it right now. It's just going to live here for anyone that needs to use it in the lab. I'll just leave it without a password. And it's partially also going to be used for Kira with our new 3D printer, because we figured out last night, because we both forgot our laptops, Benjamin and I, we figured out it can actually handle slicing prints pretty well. So yeah, that's basically going to be its purpose. It's got the SSD, boots pretty fast, I mean, does what we need it to, reads PDFs pretty well. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. That's it for this video, and see you next time.